complete. Right, sir? So invitation is a kind of personal notice sent individually to people, for example, relatives, friends, clients, colleagues, and so on, inviting them to attend some particular function or an occasion such as engagement, marriage, birth, or public function. It is an essential part of ethic word, social ethic word, and it can be in the form of an invitation card, which is a formal way of inviting people. It can be also in the form of a note or letter, which is a formal or informal way of inviting people. And types of invitations already we discussed yesterday. We have discussed too many things related to that formal invitations and informal invitations. First of all, we can see that formal invitations. In formal invitations, we have two varieties, two formats: card printed, and second one is letter formal. Formal letter invitation and card printed invitations. In formal invitations, card format, card printed. In a formal invitation card, and starts with the designation of the organizer, followed by the name and address of the host, details about the date, time, and venue of the function. The name of the chief organizer is on the bottom of the left-hand corner of the card. And guidelines for the formal card. Formal invitations cards don't include the names. Just a minute. Cards. Yes. Right, formal invitation cards don't include the name of the addressees or receiver. It is always written in third-person manner. The occasion, name of the invitee, name of the host, date, time, venue, and so on are written in proper sequences. And some more details like name, designation, address, and so on of the organizer or sponsor or host should be included very clearly. If a VIP is invited, then the name of the VIP, name of that should appear prominently, very clearly. Abbreviations for the guest names, titles, day and date won't be used. A roadmap for reaching the venue may be given at back of the card if required, right? And format. An example, we can also see it's an example. You can see this an instance. St. Joseph's Convent School and wants to invite the parents and other guests to the occasion. Design an invitation card for the same within 50 words. Invert the necessary details. And this is what yesterday we saw, that it's a glance recapitulation. Those who missed yesterday's class, you can also see that this is very important topic in 12th standard. You should take practice in 11th. Right, the management, the principal, staff, and students of St. Joseph Convent School, Public School, Nainital request the pleasure of your company and annual the celebrations on Saturday, 28th December, particular year, at particular timing, particular venue in the school auditorium. Sri, you can take Amar Singh, Honorable Minister of Cultural Affairs, has very kindly consented to be the chief guest. Right, and then RSVP. RSVP means, or meaning, we can take that RSVP mean, we can consider that please reply as soon as possible. That means expecting, anticipating. So anticipating or expecting means we are expecting your reply and your presence, valuable presence, benign presence. So RSVP, that particular host, we can write that who has the designation. That's the secretary, the president, the principal, the head of the department, or the class teacher. Likewise, we can take. Right, and if anything, if you wish, you can also write, sir. You can mute. I think someone has unmuted. You can check your mic, sir. Right, this card admits only two. You are requested to be seated by 4:30. Some instruction also we can give. Some instructions also we can give. This is known as. You can also make some. You can also give some colors. That means pencil colors, pen, blue pen, and of course black pen. You can use. That's all. Some ideas you can also include. This is for your understanding. And next one, yesterday we saw that marriage invitations come. Mr. and Mrs. Hawk want to invite all their friends and acquaintances to the wedding of their grandson Deepak. You understand, sir? Design a card for the wedding, inventing the necessary details, including the necessary details within 50 words. So you can also see that wedding, and yesterday I showed that annual days cards, annual sports days cards, and of course marriage cards are letter formal invitation. Everything I showed. This is for your understanding. Mrs. and Mr. or Mr. and Mrs. J.K. Hawk cordially invite you to the auspicious occasion of the marriage of their grandson Deepak. That means in close to brackets, son of Mrs. and Mr. P.N. Hawk. With Reena, daughter of Mrs. and Mr. P.N. Dor, the particular date, 17th September 2000, and at 7:30 p.m. reception at the particular venue we have to mention. That means the particular hall, reception hall, we have to even AM or PM based on the religion, of course, based on the convenient, even whatever it is, doesn't matter. But we have to mention that in the left bottom corner, as usual, we have to write RSVP, Mr. P and Hawks family. So the best compliments from all friends and relatives. If you need, if you wish, you can write. Otherwise, no issues. This is for card printed format invitation card. Then we can go for letter invitation. So letter invitation is well known. We know very well for inviting people for programs, celebrations, competitions, workshops, conferences, and so on. For inviting a dignitary, what is the meaning dignitary? Dignitary is on the dais. This is what the comparing students will do that. You know what is the meaning? MC, right? Master of ceremony. The students will do always. We would like to, invite the dignitaries on the dais to the lighting the lamp like they are using. So here for inviting a dignitary as a chief guest to preside over a function. So here preside over a function, I think yesterday we have attended a program, right? I think CA Foundation Career Guidance. That's a wonderful program, right? You might have come across too many things. And of course, there was a personality who took everything. His name was, where his name and Vignesh Kumar, right? He did that, presided over a function. தலைமை தாங்கி நடத்தி கொடுத்தார், right? Then inviting a team of students and teachers for competitions and workshops, inviting a person of repute as a judge. You can also take something. You can also invite for a competition, for a literary competition, for anything, house competitions or inter-school competitions, anything we can conduct. Kongu Sagodhyas complex competitions or CBSE clusters competitions. We can go for too many external levels. So inviting a person of repute, renowned. What is the meaning? Renowned person means reputed. Reputed means well qualified and certified. Very famous personality for judging the things. You understand that for conducting a classical dance competitions, we need a classical dancer. Guru, right? Master we have. When we are conducting a karate program, martial arts, we have to get masters, right? Those who are well versed. Likewise, so inviting a person of repute as judge for competition in the school or for inter-school competitions. For general common format, this is what your formal letter format. Formal letter format. As it is, the way you are writing your letter, there is a sense, when you are preparing a card printed, you have to write in third person's note. Please, you have to register and underline my words, whatever I am mentioning and giving trust. When you are writing
Spring.
card printed format, I think someone is unmute. I can find out. Alvin, mute man, mute. Okay, no issues. Now you can see that. Now you can see format and example. General, this is common, very common. General format. You can also remember that. You can also remember that and get an idea. You are a formal letter writing. You format sender's address without name date with a format. Receiver's address. Very properly, we have to write the receiver's address and subject and salutation. You know what is the meaning subject? Subject means I already very clearly told that make a long story short. That means whatever you are going to explain in write or explain in your content body of the letter, that's it is like a single word we are explaining or single sentence we are explaining in subject. What is about? The letter is about the particular term, particular matter. That's why subject you have to mention. Make a long story short. And salutation as it is dear or respected, you can go. Then the body of the letter or body of the invitation or content of the invitations. Then you can close by using complimentary close as yours respectfully, as yours faithfully, sincerely, truly. We can also use and write. Same format, right? Now we can see an example, and we invited Miss Nalini for our one act play competition in our school. This is what the question. So you can write the center's address without name, Sunrise Global School, Haribad. Write the address, pin code, and everything. Then you can go for the date with the format 5th August 2000. The double X you can also use. The receiver's address, Miss Nalini, right? When we are writing letter to the editor, letter to a principal, letter to a head of the department, letter to the class teacher, or letter to the president, letter to the secretary, letter to the commissioner of police, to whom we are, whatever, whoever we are writing, to whom whatever we are writing, we have to use which one? Definite article. That means that, right, or the. When we are, writing that, preparing that letter invitation, we are writing to a personality, reputed person. So you can write simply Miss or Mr. or Mrs. You can write. So here Miss Nalini, New Delhi, and if you wish, you can also add some address. And subject is very important, because when we are writing in the subject and invitation, that particular formal letter will be converted into an invitation. Sir, am I understand? Am I okay, sir? Am I audible? Am I understandable? Like I can ask that. Am I clear, sir? Are you all understanding what I'm trying to convey? When you are writing a formal letter, especially in the subject, when you are writing invitation in the subject, your letter, formal letter, will be converted into invitations formal letter format. Very simple. So in the subject, invitation for the school one act play competition. That's all. So whatever we are going to write in the content, we just had given, right? We have given in a long, it's like a long story, make a long story short. So here, respected ma'am, since we know that there's a female candidate, so respected ma'am, we shall be obliged, contented, satisfied if you could spare some time from your busy schedule to be the chief guest at our school's one act to play competition to be held on 20th August 2022. Right, you can write 21, 22 or anything, or double X you can use in the school auditorium at 2 p.m. onwards. Kindly confirm your acceptance by 12th August and oblige yours respectfully. The particular person, that means sender of the letter, Culture Secretary Karuna. That's very simple. As your formal letter, only in the subject we are mentioning that. Remaining as it is first person, second person. I write to you, you are writing to me. No sense of, remembering the third person's note in formal letter invitation. The third person's sense we have to maintain, we have to follow only in the card format. And of course, in the formal replies. Now you are understanding slightly, right? Now we can go. Right, sir, we have completed formal invitation, card printed, and in letter format. That's all. So types of invitations, formal invitations and informal invitations. Right, sir? Akash, I mean, okay, are you all listening to me, understanding the concept, whatever I am explaining? Akash, or anybody, you can Aishwarya or any one of you, you can unmute and say that, am I audible, clear, or following
Clear,
that?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So informal
Clear, sir.
invitation. Yes, ma. Thank you so much. So informal invitations. So we have completed formal invitations. Now we are coming to the next point, next type, informal invitation. Sir, informal invitation is very, very easy. It is like your informal letter, your personal letter. Once we followed letter types, formal letters, informal letters. Or we can take personal letter or impersonal letter. Likewise, we can remember that once we had a term likewise. Now you can go for informal invitations. Informal invitations are nothing but personal letters to your friends, right? Your colleagues, you're writing. So informal invitations are nothing but personal letters written to friends, acquaintances, and of course relatives. The style or tone of the informal invitation is relaxed and informal. That means semi-formal. We can also compare with the formal, very well. What is the meaning formal? We should follow the rules and regulations very clearly, very systematic approach. That is known as formal. And of course, what is the meaning formal and casual? Remember, you are familiar with it. The casual shoes சொல்லுவோம், casual dress சொல்லுவோம், formal dress, formal shoes, right? So we are familiar with that. Now the style or tone of the informal invitations is relaxed and of course informal. Personal feelings and emotions find an expression in the personal invitations. Like the formal invitations, the length of the informal invitation shouldn't exceed 50 words. The informal invitation is written in the first person using I, we, and you, second person. I and you. That means I'm writing to you. I don't want to go for third person's note. That should be in only formal, printed, and of course, card. That's all. So here the informal invitation is written in the first person using I, we. and second person you. That means, oh, receiver, right? Giver and receiver, sender and receiver. The use of third person, he, she, and they are avoided. You know what is the meaning? Use of he, she, it, and they. That means it. I mean, I missed that. It. You know what is the meaning? It. It means we can go for some inanimate. But I'm adding that. and and they, so here the third use of third person, he, she, it, and they are avoided. He, she, it singular, and they are they plural, avoided. They're avoided. And of course the subject and receiver's addresses are not written. Subject and receiver's addresses not written, or not written. The letters begin with the salutation dear, followed by the first name. For an example, dear John, dear Pradeep, dear Avkas, or you can go for dear Melvin. Because you can use. You understand, sir? The subject, the letter is begin with the salutation, dear, because it is informal invitations. You can go for a format and of course example. You can see a question. You are Manoj or Manjula. Write a letter of invitation to all your friends for the party you are giving to celebrate. You are going to, or you can take, you are going to celebrate. Right, you can take. So you are going to celebrate or giving, as of course you are providing. So write a letter of invitation to you, to all your friends for the party you are going to celebrate. You, for your selection, right? For your selection in BTech, in the DTU, that particular university. Invert necessary details within 50 words. This is what the question. Right, sir? Now you can, giving you also we can write, no issues. Right, for your selection in BTech. BTech, the particular, you can go for Madras University, you can go for any universities, any colleges also you can mention that. You can go for PSC, you can go for any autonomous body, you can also mention. So here something is reputed, right? You are longing for that, so you got an opportunity because of your performance and of course your marks. So you are very happy so that you are about to celebrate. So you wanted to call your friends. So you can send this address without name, date with a format, then no need of mentioning receiver's address. This is known as note format. That means sender's address without name, date with the format, and of course no subject, no receiver's address. Understand, sir? In a formal letter format, you know what are the things are there. Sender's address without name, date with the format, receiver's address, subject, salutation, content, complimentary close. Thanks given and complimentary close. This is what the formal letter format. In the letter format, when we are eliminating receiver's address and subject. You understand, sir? Receiver's address and subject, when we are eliminating, remaining part will become as informal invitations format, or it is known as informal letters format. You can take, and in based on our topic invitations and replies, we consider this is known as note format. Now you can remember, sir, right? In the formal invitations, we had two things, in card format and formal letter format. In the informal invitations, we have only one format, that is known as note format. So what do you mean note format? Note format means in our letter format, when we are eliminating receiver's address and subject instead of respected, right? Or sad, or like, we have to go for dear with the first name of the receiver. Dear Mehul. So sender's address without name, date with the format, and dear with first name of the receiver. And semi-language, semi-formal. You know what is the meaning semi-formal? Guess what? Question mark. Because it is semi-formal, informal. My family has decided to celebrate my selection to the BTech course at DTU, the DT University, with a party. So please join in the celebration at my residence on the 14th February at 7:30 p.m. Yours affectionately, Manoj or Manjula. That's also very simple. This is known as note format. So what do you mean note format? Note format means sender's address without name, date with the format, and the salutation starts with dear and first name of the receiver, then informal or semi-formal content of the invitation, then Complimentary clause. Yours affectionately. Or yours lovingly also we can write. No issues. The word was misused. That's why they just changed and of course eliminated from the terms. So instead of lovingly, we can use affectionately. You understand, sir? So sender address without name, date with the format, and a dear with the first name of the receiver, then semi-formal content, then formal. I'm sorry, complimentary close. That's all, sir. It's very simple. Only one format in informal invitations. That is known as note format. Whatever you are seeing the display, this is known as note format. Sir, are you all understanding, sir? Informal invitation known as note format. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
சார் இதை வந்து ஒருவேளை கார்டு ஃபார்மேட்டா கேட்க மாட்டாங்க. No chances are there. If in case they asked means, we can also write in this way. This could also to in the form of a card, if the question says design an informal invitation card, will not be asked, but anyhow, for your kind understanding, just you can also prepare a box. Then inside the box, you can also write, come let us celebrate my selection to the beta course with the party, the particular time, date, time, venue, everything. Anuj or Manjula, simple. You can use. That's all. So here, informal invitations means only note format. Now, sir, we are completing almost. We have come to the conclusion, invitations and replies. Respond to invitations. You know what is the meaning respond? Respond to an advertisement, right? You have come across advertisements also by taught you for your understanding. Now you can remember that responding an advertisement. You have come across an advertisement for that you thought, you felt you are a suitable candidate, you have the requisite qualification and of course experience adequate. So you are writing your response, responding to the advertisement. Like now we can go for responding to invitations. So someone invited us. So it is like social ethic. What we have to respect. We have to respond. We have to respect them. For that, we are responding. Now, respond is to known as replies. We are replying, right, sir? So, reply to an invitation is written to the host in response to the invitations. It is known as social ethic word. Respect or மரியாதை ஒருத்தங்க நம்மள கால் பண்ண நம்மள they are inviting us means we have to answer, reply them, right? So here it also informs the host about attending or not attending the occasion. So we are genuine, right? We are genuine, and of course we can say either I will attend or I will not attend. Either ways, right? We have only two ways. Yes or no, that's all. So we have to inform, reply as soon as possible, well in advance, so that they will also prepare accordingly. So a good reply is always pleasant, right? Formal replies, informal replies. Like formal invitations, informal invitations. For formal invitations, we have to reply formally, known as formal replies. For informal invitations, we have to reply very informally, semi-formal way. That is known as informal replies. I think you're all getting a construction, right? We have formal invitations. For that, we have to send formal replies. We have informal invitations. For that, we have informal replies. Okay, sir, you can take. When we are replying, we have only two ways. Either we are going to accept, that is known as acceptance, or we are going to reject, that is known as refusal. Either way we can, right? Either or, that's all. We can only we have two choices. Either we can accept or reject. Accept means acceptance. Reject, when we are rejecting means that is known as refusal. Refusing the invitation. So you can see that formal replies before that respond to invitations, reply to an invitation is written to the host in response to the invitation. It also informs the host about attending or not attending the occasion. A good reply is always pleasant. So formal replies, first one. Formal replies involved in a certain standard. It is usually very short and to the point. In formal reply, first of all, invitation is acknowledged. That means, you have to acknowledge. Formal name third person's manner da. You can remember card format, third person's manner, third person's note. We have as in formal replies also we have to follow third person's note. Right. So first of all, invitation is acknowledged. நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும், என்னைய வந்து நீங்க வந்து you just invited. For that, I am very happy with that. I am recognizing, right? And for which thanks are given are written in third person. Acceptance is communicated, or regret. You know what is the meaning? Regret. வருத்தப்பட is shown if the person is unable to attend the occasion. So ஒன்னு நீங்க வந்து accept பண்ற மாதிரி இருந்தா thank பண்ணணும். You can show your happiness. Yes, I am very much happy. I will come and attend and celebrate. Make that particular event as a grand one. Attend பண்ண முடியலன்னா you have to regret. You know what is the meaning? Regret. Regret means வருத்தப்படுறது, நம்மளோட வருத்தத்தை தெரிவிக்கிறது. Regret. Regret is shown if the person is unable to attend the occasion. கண்டிப்பா you have to show something. You have to say that, you know, sorry, மன்னிச்சிருங்க, due to this reason I am unable to attend that. Next time I will come. When I return. Likewise, we have to request, right, sir? So here, in case of not attending, a specific reason is to be given. கண்டிப்பா நம்ம ஒரு ரீசன் கொடுக்கணும்ல. Then only the host will be, you know, compromised. ஒரு ஹாப்பியா இருப்பாங்க. பரவாயில்லையே, நமக்கு ரீசன் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, நல்லவங்க. It is for social ethic with respect. So in informal replies, now you can see formal replies we completed. Informal replies. In informal reply, simple language is used and invitation is acknowledged. Simple language is used and invitation is acknowledged in person or second person. You know what is the meaning? First person or second person. So formal replies third person's manner. Informal replies first person and second person, because we prepared informal reply, informal invitation in person, first person and second person's manner. Likewise, third person's note we followed in formal invitation card format. Letter format is exception, right? அதை விட்டுருங்க. Formal reply, formal invitation, formal replies na third person's noteல தான் எழுதணும். Informal invitations and informal replies na first person second personல எழுதணும். அந்த லெட்டர் ஃபார்மேட் இருக்கு இல்லையா, ஃபார்மல் இன்விடேஷன்ல, தட் இஸ் எக்ஸெப்ஷன். நம்ம எப்படி லெட்டர் எழுதணுமோ அப்படிதான் எழுதணும். That is formal, known as formal letter invitation, but you can write first person and second person manner, because that is the way. நான் உங்களுக்கு எழுதுறேன், நீங்க எனக்கு எழுதுறீங்க, அவ்வளவுதான். Right, sir? Now you can see informal replies. In informal replies, simple language is used and invitation is acknowledged in first person and second person. Acceptance is communicated or refusal is regretted with a specific reason. Same. ஃபார்மல் ரிப்ளைஸ்ல பண்ண மாதிரியா, இன்ஃபார்மலி ஒன்று வரப்போறேன்னு சொல்ல போறோம், இல்லை வரமாட்டேன்னு சொல்ல போறோம். வரப்போறேன்னு சொன்னா சந்தோஷப்படுவோம், வரமாட்டேன்னு சொன்னா வருத்தப்படுவோம், அவ்வளவுதான். ஃபார் தட் ஒரு காரணம் சொல்லுவோம். Now we can go for format, formal acceptance, formal replies, acceptance and refusal. That's also formal replies, acceptance and refusal. Either we can accept or refuse, reject. வேற எதுவுமே நம்மளால பண்ண முடியாது, எதுவுமே சொல்லாம வேணா இருக்கலாம், நியூட்ரலா, right? So formal acceptance, now you can see that. This is for card format reply. Card format reply. You received a card, right? You received a card. For that, you are writing a reply. No need of writing, you know, anything. That means even salutation also not required. Even salutation is also not required. Complimentary close also not required. This is for the reply of formal invitation printed card. Now you can see that sender's address with the date. Sender's address with the date, right? That means CP Park is a sender's address. July 9, 2020 or 21 is the date with the format. Then directly, Mrs. and Mr. Raina, you see that. That means those who are writing the reply, Mr. and Mrs. or Mrs. and Mr. Raina, that particular family, thank. Family means thanks. Now we can say that. So Mr. and Mrs. or Mrs. and Mr. Raina, right? Husband and wife, plural. Thank Mrs. and Mr. C.K. Das for their, Mrs. and Mr. ரெண்டு பேர் இருக்காங்க, husband and wife, for their kind, their third person's note. You understand, sir? I am thanking you ன்னு எழுதாம third person, because it is a reply for a card invitations. Invitations. That's why they are writing in this manner. Only you can write in a box. You have to register. You have to prepare a box, because you also received like that. In a box you have to write sender's address without need, with date with the format. So Mrs. and Mr. Raina thank. If it is only one person, Mr. Raina thanks. Mrs. and Mr. So that thank. Only simply Mr. Raina means or Mrs. Raina means thanks Mrs. and Mr. C.K. Das for their kind invitation, or for his invitations, or for her invitations based on the subject. object you can take. So Mrs. and Mr. Raina thank Mrs. and Mr. C.K. Das for their kind invitation to their wedding anniversary on the 25th of December 2020 or anything at the Taj, that particular venue at the Taj Palace Hotel at 8 p.m. At 8 p.m. they are delighted. Who were delighted? Who were delighted? Mrs. and Mr. Raina are delighted. Understand, sir? ரொம்ப சந்தோஷப்படுறாங்க. Delighted to accept the invitation and promise to be on time. And that's all. For the 3 marks you can get. You understand, sir? When you are choosing reply, you will be given 3 marks without any difficulties. But you have to remember the format. This is for your card format reply. உங்களுக்கு கார்டு வந்துச்சுன்னா இந்த மேனர்ல தான், இந்த பேட்டர்ன்ல தான் you have to reply. So send a sentence without name, date with the format, and of course third person's note. Mrs. and Mr. Raina thank Mrs. and Mr. C.K. Das for their kind invitations to the wedding anniversary on the particular date, particular venue, particular timing. They are delighted to accept the invitations and promise to be on time, not in time, on time, exactly. In time means more or less. முன்ன பின்ன இருக்கும். On time means exactly. Absolutely. Now, refusal, formal refusal. Same. Send a sentence without name, date with the format. Mrs. and Mr. Raina thank Mrs. and Mr. C.K. Das for their kind invitations to the wedding of the, everything, everything, but regret. வருத்தப்படுறாங்க. Their inability attend பண்ண முடியல to accept the same due to a prior engagement. உங்களுக்கு ஏற்கனவே ஒரு என்கேஜ்மெண்ட் இருக்குது, அதனால கண்டிப்பா அதை அட்டன் பண்ண முடியாதுன்னு வருத்தப்படுறாங்க. That should be in third person form. I will leave you within 2 to 3 minutes. Yes. Now formal acceptance. These are informal acceptance and informal refusal. So because we have completed formal acceptance and formal refusal in third person's note, only I have given to you for the formal printed card. That means you can go for the formal letter invitations. We can go for note format. I will also tell you this is not format. The way we have to write and share. Now we can come to, we can go for informal acceptance and informal refusal. You can remember, sir, it means note format, send a status without name, date with the format, then dear salutation, start with dear and first name of the person, and of course semi-formal content and complimentary close, name of the receipt sender. Same, which is an answer. Send a status without name, date with the format. Dear Manuj or Manjula, congratulations on your selection. You understand, sir? Congratulations on your selection. BTech course, right? So thanks for the invitations. I will, sir, your selection. Thanks for the invitation. I will, I and you, first person and second person, because we are in informal replies. Informal invitations நாவே first person second person. அதே மாதிரி replies மே first person second person. Sir, first person second person என்ன sir? I to you, you to me. That's all. Not third person's not he, she, it, or they. So thanks for the invitations. I will definitely be there to celebrate this grand achievement. See you soon. Yours affectionately, Meru. That's all, very simple. This is known as note format. நீங்க informal invitationக்கு என்ன format யூஸ் பண்ணீங்களோ, send us address without name, date with a format, and then dear with the first name of that, and then content and complimentary close. That's the same in replies also, informal replies. Likewise, refusal. As it is, send a sentence without name, date with a format. Dear Manoj or Manjula, congratulations, thanks for the invitations, but I'm sorry that I won't be able to attend the party as I will be out of town at the time. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I will really miss the celebrations. Wishing you all the best. Yours affectionately, Meku. Sir, we have completed the formal acceptance and formal refusal. Now we can come to informal acceptance and informal refusal. I will shall also go through.